This is the Don's adopted son. He's from a heavy-duty family with education to match. He probably runs R&D for the organization.
What's his name?
Garino Creale Corsione.
He's mine.
Hey, Cabane, keep it down. You don't have to yell in my ear.
Shut your trap, rat. I'm telling you, he's mine. If anybody touches him before me, I'll kill him.
So you finally found him, eh, Juji?
Looks like it.
What's wrong? This isn't like you. You've been searching for him for so long.
RB. I got a bad feeling about this. Something stinks. Doesn't it seem suspicious to you? Everywhere we go, the enemy's waiting for us. It's got to be that our plans are somehow leaking out.
You think so?
You don't seem very concerned about it.
So, you're saying that someone's been following Grave and Mika this whole time?
Either that, or maybe one of us is a rat.
Well, it's not me.
I know that, you idiot.
So what do you want to do about it?
Our goal is in sight. Maybe it would be better if the two of us worked on our own from now on.
They defeated the soldiers, huh? It's not surprising. After all, they were good enough to make it onto Metasliga. Dead men are not to be trifled with. Garino, we're going to need one of your soldiers.
I understand, Father. I'll prepare one of the newest Orgmen.
I have a feeling that this will be a very close battle indeed. They aren't like the gangsters you fought before. Prepare yourself.
Here we are. This is the Don's mansion.
Seems strangely quiet. I don't like it. Something's wrong.
It isn't like you to be so nervous, Juji. You eat something that disagreed with you?
Put a sock in it.
There's no question that the Corsiones know what we're up to. All of the men inside the mansion are trained killers. And according to the disc, there are Orgmen and other creatures inside.
Even so, to stop Seed, we must defeat Don Corsione.
So we have no choice but to attack, right?
Alright, welcome back to Let's Play Gungrave Overdose. So, for once in a blue moon, Juji's suspicion is actually correct, because his paranoia did not lead us wrong at all. We're actually going to be walking into a trap, pretty much, because this place is heavily fortified. And it's full of all the same Marines from the mercenary unit we were fighting in the previous stage. So, yeah, welcome to the Corsione Manor. This is supposedly where Don Corsione and his son Garino are hiding out. And in that previous cutscene, we saw pretty much all the bosses for the game. And this game has a ton of bosses that are, a lot of which are not even shown in that scene. Some of which we've already fought, some of which we haven't. This game loves bosses like Konami on the Sega Genesis. It's like, it just loves bosses. You have like 20 bosses in this game or more. So this first room is obviously going to be full of more of the mercenary unit soldiers. And, some guys with rocket launchers. There's also going to be Orgmen in the mix here. Now, it looks like Don Corsione has contracted these guys, and we saw their leader briefly in that cutscene there. We'll see him again later on in the game. But as far as the Orgmen goes, it looks like that's Garino's property there. And whoever this Garino guy is, Juji definitely does not like him. I wonder if he has a history with this guy. We'll have to find out. So I want to get upstairs here as fast as possible to prevent more of these guys from spawning. And to get rid of these guys with the rocket launchers in the corners here. Again, I'm just out of habit. I'm like charging my guns when I shouldn't be. I should be letting my shield recharge before I do that. It's just kind of a habit. But it is kind of a nice thing, you know, have the guns already charged, and when an enemy spawns, you can hit him with a charge shot and just knock him out right away. There's going to be a lot of big enemies in this stage, too, so that's going to be especially helpful. Great, they're coming in from outside, where we just came in from. I love how we just walk in through the front door, too. I mean, it's not that this place was too quiet, as Juji said, it's just we didn't have a good strategy at all. We literally just marched right in through the front door, and without any kind of plan or anything. Mika was just like, well, we have no choice, we have to attack them, and, you know, Grave doing whatever she says is pretty much just like, yeah, we'll go kill them through brute force alone, and I guess it's working. I'm not really intimidated by these guys. And just jump right in the center here and blow them all away. So, you may notice that under the door in front of us here at the bottom of the staircase, there's a chess piece on that symbol there. That's going to have to do with how we're going to be able to get in there, because once we defeat all these enemies, one of the doors is going to unlock, but it's not going to be that one. We're going to have to do some backtracking and go through some hallways in order to actually progress through this area. I'm taking a lot of damage here from these guys. These large enemies really mean business. I don't have a whole lot of room to maneuver in here either and do shoot dodges, and at one point there they had crowded me so badly I just kind of had to spam my melee attacks for a minute to kill a few of them and regain my grounding there, and there's so many rockets flying at me too at the same time. I definitely want to have an extra demolition shot on reserve just in case. Yeah, if I didn't say so before, the demolition shot that is a consumable to restore your health is not in this game. The one we had in the first game, we don't have that in this one anymore. We can't do that from the menu. But at least selecting your quick select to select your demolition shot is a lot more intuitive in this game than it was in the first game, because you just have that little screen you can go through with the D-pad during combat or in the start menu if you choose. You know, it's whatever you prefer to do. It's in real time or it pauses the game. And compared to the first game where you had to go into a menu and change it, and you only have one of them equipped at a time, that was kind of lame. They also all did pretty much the same thing. They were just escalating levels of power from the previous one. You know, the second tier rocket one was just 3 rockets instead of 1, and then the AoE one is where he kind of had a second stream of bullets in a circle, and it was more powerful. So we have to go through either of these 2 rooms. I think there's a knight one we're going through right now, and the other one might be a bishop or something like that. And we have to clear out all the enemies in here and destroy a statue that has that chess piece on it. I mean, leave it up to these eccentric mobsters to have needlessly expensive security measures and overly eccentric security measures as well. We already fought the casino manager that had a slot machine guns, for Christ's sake, and now we're fighting the Corsiones that have chess pieces with turrets in them. And these things are actually pretty dangerous too. We definitely want to be careful. There we go. It's literally a horse with a gun sticking out of its neck. At least we know they like to read. Or maybe it's just there for show because they have so much money. Either way, we're going to destroy it all. Hope they didn't like any of these books because they're going away. They're going to have, you know, several pounds of lead in them when we're done with it. I know as far as, I'm trying to figure out what caliber Grave's Cerberus guns would be, because I know in the context of Trigun at least, Vash's revolver is a 45 long Colt, and I almost want to say that Grave's guns are the same way. In the anime we get to see them actually manually loading the bullets into the magazines, but these things are just, they're just so obscenely powerful, and obviously what the right head has was equipped with a different, special kind of ammunition in the anime to be degenerative to the regenerating tissue in the Orgmen and the resurrected people, such as ourselves. So it was especially effective against dead men and Orgmen. But yeah, the charge shot and everything is unique to Overdose, definitely. I was never seen in the anime. Not really sure how it works, it's just cool. So, if you guys, from here on out, if you guys happen to notice any, and this applies to the previous videos as well, if you're just now watching the Let's Play, if you guys notice any decrease in quality in the audio in certain cutscenes, or if the audio goes mute in certain cutscenes, that is not a failure with me and my recording setup or the compression when I upload it or anything like that. That is because the copyright content holder, the copyright ID holder for the Gungrave soundtrack has been quite a pain in the ass lately and keeps flagging the videos for the music in the cutscenes. So a lot of cutscenes I've had to go in and edit the audio to where it won't flag it anymore. So there's a whole video that goes in more detail about that. If you guys want to check that out, I just updated that on my page. But yeah, hopefully it won't detract from the Let's Play too much because I want to keep things going on schedule. But that's definitely a factor. It's definitely going to detract from the overall experience, I feel like. But yeah, I'm still going to try to show all the cutscenes and include all the voice acting and dialogue in there because I think it's important. So like I said, I wanted to keep a couple demolition shots in reserve here. But now I had 3 just then, so I went ahead and used one to clear out all those enemies because there was a crap ton of enemies in that room. I will say this, though, that while this game doesn't have the sharpest graphics for its time, they are still kind of cartoony and borderline cel-shaded at times, but you know, very much indicative of the art style. But the game does run pretty well, and there's never really any slowdown. I mean, sometimes I feel like there's some a little bit of visual clutter and some frame tearing when you're taking a lot of fire from enemies, you're taking a lot of damage. There's a little bit of frame rate skips, but it's very, very minor. And overall, the game performs really well with how many enemies are on screen at the same time, because there can be a crap ton of them. Speaking of which, we have 4 of these big guys right here in this hallway, so we're going to blow them away with the tier 2. Actually, 6 of them. There's like 3 came in each window on each side. And we unfortunately didn't kill all of them with that, but we got all of them damaged with it at least, so we should be able to knock down the rest of them with a little bit of burst mode here. And not get noob-tubed, because we don't play that way. You guys can go back to your Call of Duty. We will stay in our crazy Japanese, over-the-top, third-person shooter. This is what we think about you and your explosive projectiles. And you kids these days and your guided rockets and your rocket-propelled grenades. And alright, in this room we have 2 more statues. Like I think that's a rook. I'm not a chess expert, honestly. But there's 2 of them actually in this room, so it's a little bit harder than the previous room with the decapitated horse head. But we have to blow those away, obviously, in order to get through the door in the main room again. So this, like I said, is an overly elaborate security measure. This looks like they have a church in their mansion. That's what this is. This is like a little mini cathedral. They have everything in here. They have their own library. They probably have their own indoor swimming pool. I mean, obviously we're not the religious type because we literally came back from the dead, but no blasphemy intended there with the destruction. It was merely collateral. Or maybe we're some kind of walking miracle. Who knows? All I know is that, like Nicholas D. Wolfwood, our guns are full of mercy and full of judgment, for that matter. It's always something that he said was, you know, everybody asked him why the cross was so heavy, and he was like, "That's because it's so full of mercy." And I was like, I think it's because it's so full of judgment. That just sounds so much more badass.
They've blocked off the hallway.
So the way out that we came in is blocked now, so we have to go through this side area here, and it's really aggravating because it's disorienting to think about where you are in relation to that main room there, or how they even blocked that hallway. It looks like it's part of the ceiling that's caved in right here. I don't understand how they did that. But we've got to head down here. It looks like a garage or another storeroom down here, maybe a little living room with some more bookshelves and whatnot. Oh, it's got a giant TV and a giant speakers hooked up to it. This place is crazy. I don't even know what to think of this mansion. But yeah, we're going to clear out these guys as quickly as we can. More guys came out of the door that we came in through. And again, I think I may want to use a demolition shot in this room if I had one, but we'll deal with these guys quickly enough. The nice thing about when you have only guys with shields in an encounter is I'm sorry, the guys with the shields and the rocket launchers, is you don't really have to worry about taking any damage because you can just sit there and spam the melee attack, and there's no other guys with regular guns in the room that can actually shoot you. And if you're feeling really bold, you have enough time to charge up your charge shots and shoot right through their shields, which would be cool as well. We're not really thinking this through, are we? Every time we walk out of this room, we return, and the room is even more heavily fortified than it was. So, right now, there's going to be the final chess piece statue is going to appear in the corner, and this one has a very powerful cannon on it. So it has a tank cannon on it, practically, and it has the same targeting reticle that the tank cannon has. In this game, at least, whenever a tank is targeting you. So we've got to keep moving around this thing or else we'll get blown away like that. So we've got to keep moving fast. There's going to be a lot of guys coming in the room right now. Probably a record amount of enemies on screen at one time for the game so far, aside from that one rooftop battle. So we want to, but I just want to keep moving. I want to use my demolition shot whenever I get too low on health. Make sure it's AoE, but it still damages the turret, and I just want to kill that thing as fast as possible and get through that door. I'm not even focusing on killing every enemy in this room. I just want to destroy that thing, and we'll be able to leave every enemy in the room behind us and just go straight for the objective. So, straight behind us, 180-degree turn, and we're done.